All right, let's jump straight into this explainer. We're going to decode the actual biology of self-belief today and figure out exactly why waiting for that perfect moment is totally keeping you stuck. Look, if you've ever felt like you just don't have the motivation to go after your goals, you're in the right place. We're diving deep into the hard science of how our brains process doubt, success, and most importantly, action. Honestly, we've all been there, right? You're just staring at a blank screen or looking down at your running shoes, completely paralyzed by self-doubt. You just kind of assume you need to feel ready or, inspired before you can tackle those big goals. Society has totally sold us this idea that this elusive muse of motivation just has to strike before we can do great work. But here's the thing. Science shows us that waiting for that mood, it's actually a massive biological trap. There was this really profound realization from a viral post in the Lemon 8 community, and it absolutely nails our core theme for today. Action creates motivation, not the other way around. The author realized that by constantly chasing inspiration and comfort, they were literally just avoiding growth. They were chasing a feeling instead of an actual result. And as you'll see, there's some deep neuroscience backing up why this mindset shift is an absolute game changer. So here's our roadmap for today's explainer. We're going to hit 5 key areas: the trap of self-doubt, how doubt warps perception, the neuroscience of confidence, the myth of motivation, and finally, rewiring your brain for success. Okay, let's kick things off with section 1, the trap of self-doubt, and really defining the struggle. Now, to truly solve the whole problem of feeling stuck, we actually need to get our terminology straight. We throw words around like confidence and self-esteem all the time, but just look at how incredibly specific these scientific distinctions are. Self-confidence isn't just some personality trait you're born with, right? It's an expectation that is built entirely on your actual past experiences. Then you have self-efficacy, which is your belief in your capacity to perform a very specific task, like public speaking or coding. And self-esteem, that's your overall baseline valuation of yourself as a person. The real beauty here is that confidence fluctuates based on your actions, which means you literally have the power to build it yourself. And the absolute crucial point to remember is that true confidence never, ever requires putting other people down. It's grounded in humility, it invites people in. Truly confident people, they admit their weaknesses without feeling any shame. Arrogance, on the flip side, is totally driven by deep insecurity and this constant need for superiority. It's just a mask. When you're genuinely building your confidence, you don't look at someone else's win as your loss. Moving on to section 2, how doubt warps perception, and this whole obsession with competence. So self-doubt doesn't just make you feel bad internally, it literally distorts how you see the people around you. Researchers from Ohio State University and a few other places found something so fascinating. If you have high self-doubt, it's not actually that you expect to fail, it's more like you are just chronically uncertain about your own abilities. And that constant, exhausting search for the truth about your own worth, it makes you hyper-fixated on intellectual competence. You basically become obsessed with measuring intelligence both in yourself and in literally everyone else. Take a look at the data from this impression formation study. Participants had to rate fictional targets based on a few traits. And the data clearly shows that people with high self-doubt harshly judge unintelligent targets, but they rate highly intelligent targets incredibly positively. For them, intellectual competence is basically the ultimate standard of human value. This contrast proves the point beautifully. In classic psychology, warmth is usually the #1 trait we use to judge people. If someone's warm, we like them. People with low self-doubt follow that exact pattern. They value warmth way more than intelligence. But for self-doubters, evaluating intelligence is their central filter for how they perceive the whole world. They actually weigh intelligence and warmth equally. Their own internal uncertainty makes them project that exact same measuring stick onto every single person they meet. Let's get into the biology. Section 3, the neuroscience of confidence and mapping the brain. How does all this actually play out physically inside our heads? Well, confidence isn't just sitting in one isolated spot in your brain. It's this dynamic, ongoing feedback loop powered by multiple regions. You've got the ventral medial prefrontal cortex, which maintains your sense of identity. Then there's the striatum, which relies heavily on dopamine to actually push you toward taking action. And, this is wild, in the medial temporal lobe, researchers found that neurons literally fire action potentials faster when you report feeling high confidence. Your brain is essentially acting as a physical engine, computing confidence in real time as you make decisions. Which brings us to this incredible biological phenomenon called the winner effect. When you pull off a win, even a tiny, seemingly insignificant one, your brain releases a surge of dopamine and testosterone. This physically changes your brain chemistry. It creates more receptors for those hormones. It's like a biological flywheel. Every single small victory rewires your nervous system, making you statistically more likely to win again in the future. So let's flip the script. Section 4, the myth of motivation and reversing the formula. Armed with this science, we can finally dismantle the biggest societal myth that's keeping us all paralyzed. If confidence is built on a biological flywheel of past successes, then our whole approach to getting motivated is completely backwards. We've been sold this massive lie that inspiration just has to strike first. We think, oh, I'll go to the gym when I feel energized, or I'll start writing when I'm feeling creative. But waiting for those perfect conditions, it's simply a defensive mechanism. Like that Lemonade post highlighted, it's just fear dressed up as strategy. By avoiding the action, you're literally depriving your brain of the exact dopamine it needs to create the feeling of motivation in the first place. This mantra forces a total mindset shift. Move first, feel later. Action creates motivation, not the other way around. You have to leverage discipline to kickstart that dopamine loop before the motivation even shows up. Remember the striatum from our brain map earlier? It needs you to act first. When you drag yourself to the gym and suddenly feel amazing halfway through the workout, that isn't magic. That is your biology reacting to your discipline. All right, final section. Section 5, rewiring your brain for success, and some actionable strategies you can use. So how do we actually hijack our biology in real life to beat procrastination? These 3 tactical steps are brilliant because they're specifically designed to break that initial inertia and guarantee those quick, small wins. First, the 5-minute rule. Just commit to a dreaded task for 5 minutes. That's it. It lowers the barrier to entry so much that your brain doesn't hit the panic button. Second, break it down. Find the smallest possible first step to kill the overwhelm. And third, schedule the action, not the motivation. Treat it like an admissible appointment. These tiny completions trigger your brain's reward system, releasing that crucial dopamine we've been talking about. Here's another fascinating strategy for dealing with stress. Did you know that anxiety and excitement actually share the exact same high physical arousal state in your body? Your heart races, your palms sweat, it's the whole shebang. Because of this, trying to force yourself to calm down almost always fails. Instead, simply saying "I am excited" out loud uses what psychologists call arousal congruency to easily shift your emotional state. It is a literal biological loophole that reframes a negative thought loop into a positive one. How cool is that? You can also literally trick your brain into a confident state using your body. Adopting expansive postures like power posing for just a couple of minutes dramatically increases your subjective feelings of power and totally changes your body awareness. Even wilder, mental rehearsal. Visualizing your success actually activates the exact same neural pathways in your brain as performing the action for real. Your brain literally cannot tell the difference. It just proves that the old saying, "fake it till you make it," isn't just a catchy phrase. It's completely backed by hard neuroscience. So we've seen how self-doubt traps us, how our brains process confidence, and exactly why discipline beats motivation every single time. Knowing that action is the literal biological ignition switch for motivation, my final challenge to you is this. Pick one task you've been putting off. Apply the 5-minute rule right now. Do not wait for the mood to strike. Go create your own momentum and let your brain's biology take care of the rest.